Ukraine joins UAE and Bahrain to help NASA in Artemis moon colonization program. Ukraine became the 9th nation to join the program along with Australia, Canada, Italy, Japan, Luxembourg, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom. Subsequent signatories are South Korea, New Zealand, Brazil, Poland, Mexico, Israel, Romania, Bahrain, Singapore, Colombia and France. Ukraine signed the agreement with NASA to jointly cooperate within the Artemis program that envisages the peaceful exploration of the Moon, Mars and other celestial objects. The State Space Agency of Ukraine says the agreement contains a set of principles that will guide the signatory states in participating in the program. According to the ex-head of the SSAU Volodymyr Yusov, this step allows Ukraine to be able to implement its projects in partnership with the world's leading space agencies. Now Ukrainian projects are to become a part of the global framework of the Moon's exploration by ISECG as well as open up the full potential of Ukraine in space research within the Artemis program in particular. Europe halts Moon exploration partnership with Russia, looks to replace Ukraine-built rocket engines. A sad news for Ukraine. The European Space Agency will discontinue its cooperation on Russia's Luna series of robotic moon missions, ESA Director General Joseph Ashbacher said on April 13 regarding Russian invasion in Ukraine. At the news conference, ESA also discussed the future of its small Vega rocket, which relies on Ukraine-built engines in its upper stage. The engines are manufactured by the Ukrainian company Yuzhmash, which is based in the tech city of Dnipro. Although Dnipro has been under heavy bombardment by Russia, there have been no official reports so far about damage to Yuzhmash. It is, however, clear that ESA doesn't expect to continue its partnership with the company in the future. We now have sufficient engines for 2022 and 2023, Ashbacher said. We are working on options for 2024 and onwards based on different technologies. Daniel Neuenschwander, ESA's Director of Space Transportation, added, we are working on engine opportunities within Europe and outside of Europe, which are either tested or, even better, already existing and fully qualified. ESA previously suspended cooperation with Russia on the ExoMars rover mission, which was expected to launch on Russia's Proton rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan in September. In addition to the rocket, the mission also featured a Russian-built landing platform. Ashbacher said the agency is now conducting a series of studies to evaluate the possible ways forward for ExoMars without Russia. Results of these studies will be presented to ESA member states in July. As all of the alternatives are bound to come with extra cost, the member states will have to decide about the rover's future. Meanwhile, China and Russia open moon base project to international partners, early details emerge. Russia and China have formally invited countries and international organizations to join the International Lunar Research Station (ILRS) project being developed by the two nations. China National Space Administration (CNSA) and Russia's Roscosmos said the ILRS project would be open to participation at all stages and levels. This includes planning, design, research, development, implementation and operations. Russia says looking at China, Middle East nations to fund ExoMars mission after EU pulls out over Ukraine invasion. The head of the Russian space agency has said that Roscosmos was exploring options to fund the ExoMars 2022 mission after Europe suspended cooperation over Ukraine. Roscosmos and the European Space Agency (ESA) were to launch a rover to Mars in September. After the ESA pullout, Russia said it would go ahead in cooperation with China or maybe a Middle Eastern countries like Iran, Syria or others. I don't rule out teaming up with another partner instead of the Europeans. It can be a Persian Gulf country or China, Roscosmos chief Dmitry Rogozin said at an event northeast of Moscow. He added that Russia had the technology to launch a mission to Mars but would consider finding an investor abroad. Rogozin said the United States wanted to continue working together on the International Space Station, but Washington's hostility toward Russia and its president cast doubt on the future of bilateral cooperation aboard the orbital outpost. Instead, Roscosmos plans to focus on doubling its satellite constellation in order to keep the rocket-making industry busy, among other goals, Rogozin said. The European Space Agency earlier confirmed its commitment to sanctions imposed by the European Union on Russia over its military operation in Ukraine. The agency acknowledged that sanctions targeting the country's economy and technology sector make the launch of the Russian-European mission ExoMars in 2022 very unlikely. The ExoMars mission was originally planned for 2018, but was postponed twice, first to 2020 and then to 2022, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The launch window for traveling from Earth to Mars opens every 2 years. Earlier, Roscosmos said that its mission to Mars will need no Mars rover because the landing module itself is a self-sufficient research station. Will be any kind of Mars rover needed there? I don't think it will be needed, as the landing module itself is a self-sufficient research station. It will be enough to implement the mission, Rogozin told journalists at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Roscosmos added that it is not difficult to recreate the Kazakh landing module, which Russia has developed for the ExoMars 2022 mission. Thank you for watching.